I'm sorry for the way I'm having to do this video, but all I have is this little netbook gateway, and it will not let me run the screencast and Stellarium at the same time. That's why I can't make a video on it. I was using it to fix my laptop till it got slipped off the table. I want to talk about what's going on, because the heavens are explaining it all. The planets that actually represent our chakras. I've been telling you about Venus being debilitated in mutable Earth. I'm cardinal Earth, so that's going to affect me. It's going to affect all of the feminine signs, all of the Earth signs, and all of the mutable signs. And the more of those you have, the more it'll affect you. If you're on a mutable cross, it's going to affect you. If you understand, you can have more than one of these aspects going on, and it's just like multiplies it every time. Mars is there only to make the problem worse for Venus. Mercury finally done its conjunction with Jupiter. Now Jupiter's debilitated of the sun. That's your benevolence. But your voice, Mercury, is finally, it can speak now because it's moving away from the sun. The moon right now is between Libra and Scorpio, that eagle and that serpent, the wisdom of the heavens. But it's Saturn. Saturn is finally going forward in Scorpio / Ophiuchus, moving back into Sagittarius. Let's see if I can, I have to set this down for a second. I can't move it otherwise, because this is what we want to talk about. Is this Saturn that's, as I said, moving back into Sagittarius because it went retrograde. It already broke that threshold twice. It crossed over and then it reversed. This is the third time it's doing this. Between fire and water, when that happens in the Vedic, that is Gandant, and it means it feels like it's drowning. So you're just drowning in it all. But Sagittarius is about philosophy. It's ideology. It's what you believe. It's a fire sign and it's ruled by Jupiter. So when Saturn comes in this house, Saturn is about restriction and limitation and not change, right? Not change, not expansion. Jupiter expansion. So Saturn is walking in Jupiter's house of expansive ideology. And what happens? We're being asked. You're going to have, this is the choice point right here. You have to choose. Saturn's making you make a choice. Now he's been over there once this year. We've had to deal with that. And everybody was real happy when Saturn went retrograde back over here. But when Saturn is fixing to come back over here and he's knocking at the door, remember, he's already been there. He's in the house. He just stepped back and he's still on the property. He's stepping back in. And this is what people believe, what you think, where your heart's really at. And it's between the two. It's between fire and water, fire and ice. There's the battle. Ideology, the battle of ideology. And that's what's going on. This is the test. Saturn is not the taskmaster. He tests you. He gives you your purpose. Are you achieving your purpose? Are the things and people in your life and the channels you watch serving you? You have to make a choice, because he's fixing to move back over here. He done told you when he stepped in, hey, It's time to check yourself. Check what you believe, what you think. And then he stepped back, and we had time to think about it. And that water of that eagle and Ophiuchus in the hero's journey. But boom, he's telling you now. We're feeling it right now. So imagine what it's going to feel like when it does completely cross over. We're going to make a choice. It's about what you believe. Where's your heart really at? The unveiling is occurring. Apocalypse does not mean doomsday. Listen to the word. Apotheosis. Apocalypse. I have Saturn in my first house of Capricorn. Saturn rules Capricorn. Saturn rules cardinal Earth. So this crap back over here in mutable Earth is also affecting Saturn. Apocalypse, apotheosis, apothecary, they're all come from the same source. And we're going to have to make a choice right here. This is when it goes down. And it's going to be a battle of the ideologies. That expansive Jupiter, fiery Sagittarius, when Saturn steps up in the house. And then the two of them are going to meet right here in Capricorn in 2020 with Pluto. And that's when the battle happens. And you better make your choice while Saturn is here. Because when it happens here, it's too late. Game over. You don't get to pass go and you don't get to collect $200. And the tests are subtle in ways you wouldn't think they would come. But this is school and everything is a test. I am angry about what's going on because I too, having Saturn in my first house, feel like I need to stand up for what I believe in. What do I believe in? I believe in those red words. That's what I believe in. I don't think his name was Jesus. To me, it is Thalem, the Lamb, whatever. But I actually believe in those words. And the rest of them, I don't care what happens to them. The black and white words are Masonic to me. They're black and white. But the red ones, they actually mean something. And ever since I first read them as a little girl, I knew what I was hearing in the church and what I was seeing was not what was occurring. It's not what he said. It's not what he's talking about. But I actually believe in them. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. There's only one commandment. Love one another. The greatest thing you can do in your life is to lay down your life for a friend. I say there's a greater. To lay down your life for a complete stranger. Somebody you don't know. You got to trust the universe. I mean, I give, whoever asks me, I try to give. There are a lot of homeless people here in Stockton. And they ask me all the time for something. And I try to give them what they ask for and then add to that more than they ask for. Because there is no greater gift than one that was not asked for. Is it really a gift if you have to ask for it? I'm asking you all, this is part of your shadow work. If I ever made any video that would serve you, it should be this one. Because the time is now. And I hope that I can explain it in a way that you can actually understand and comprehend this great alchemical transmutation circle. It's a magic circle. It is Golgotha. It's the 3 crosses. It's Las Cruces. It's mutable, it's cardinal, and it's fixed. It's fire, it's water, it's earth, and it's air. It is incredible at what occurs. And it affects us all through these planets and our chakras, which are our energy portals. It's what we channel these energies through. Each one is designated. Mercury rules Virgo. He's just now getting to speak over there. So now the mutable earth, the cardinal earth, and the fixed earth have a voice over in mutable earth. So we're speaking up. Can you hear us? Next, Mercury's going to move into Libra. He's going to speak of the wisdom of the heavens. Can you hear him? Who's he speaking through to you? Then he'll move into Scorpio and then into this fire. I have Mercury here in Sagittarius in my natal chart. I speak as the philosopher. I speak about ideology and beliefs and what we're doing here. We are becoming. I've been telling you that from the beginning. We are becoming. We do not evolve. We mutate. We transmutate in the great galactic transmutation circle. The wheel in the sky that keeps turning. Aquarius is all about Saturn and astrology. That's what the sign's about. The New Agers are doing everything they can to move Uranus and connect it with Aquarius. Why? Number one, they're opposed to each other. Aquarius is fixed, and Uranus is about transformation. They want to transform the fixed cross. They started with the Protestants. They took the man off the cross. The Catholics have the man on the cross, but the Protestants do not. They stripped him off. They made him null and void. They took him out of the story. I don't know if y'all can see that, but they're trying to destroy the age coming in because it belongs to Jupiter, who's in mutable Earth right now, but can't do anything because he's combusted the sun. So we actually have some time right now for the next few days. But Jupiter rules ideology and philosophy. He's the one that dictates your religions in Pisces, your beliefs in Sagittarius. One is watery and one is fiery. I've had enough of the propaganda myself. It's time for the truth. I'm speaking as Saturn. I have the right to, because I have Saturn in my first house of Capricorn. I have Mars in my first house of Capricorn, and Mars is exalted there. So I have the right to do it. And I can speak it because I have Mercury, which is really bad, in my 12th house, because it is my detriment, and I know it. What I speak is how I'll be judged. And I have no choice but to speak my philosophy, my ideology. If Mars was in a different house, I could probably not do it, but I'm compelled. That's action. What compels you? That's your Mars. Mars is in mutable Earth right now. That's about change. And a lot's changing for me and for everybody around us. If things are not changing for you, it is for the person next to you or those in your life. But it's all about change. And without change, there is no growth. How can you become if there's no change? You can't go out and get a new sofa till you throw the old one out. Ideology. Think about what I just said. Saturn is fixing to strip us of our old beliefs, our old way of thinking. You must get rid of it. You can no longer function spiritually with that ideology. We've got to start walking the talk. That is the test. In this age, your works will follow you. There is no grace. There is no law. There's one commandment: love one another. Are you doing that with every breath? Are you just talking it, or are you walking it? Because that's what's going down right now. I'm seeing it. I'm living it. You're witnessing it. So what are you going to do? Because between right now and 2020, when Saturn and Jupiter meet over here, this is it. Because this says 2020 is going to set the stage for the next 20 years till those two meet again. Those two fingers you see hold up in the iconography. That is the generational marker of Saturn and Jupiter. And depending on the house they land in, will they land in Saturn's house this time? Western astrology has it happening in Aquarius. Doesn't matter. Still Saturn's house. This is about government. And Capricorn is cardinal, not fixed or mutable. The Pope should be cardinal Earth. He's the cardinal of the Earth. He must be born in Capricorn with Saturn in the first house. It would help to have Mars there. Mercury too. And Venus. I'll have to do my chart for you guys. I know a lot of you have been asking me. I have the exact same birthday as Michelle Obama, but we weren't born at the same time or in the same place. But we both have that Saturn, Mars in Capricorn, and Mercury over here. Fiery philosophy, that we speak fiery. I am exactly what the transmutation circle says I am. And you are exactly what your natal chart says you are. Your cross, your burden. That's why it's called a burden. It's a heavy burden to bear. We are becoming. We are apotheosis. To do that, the first thing that is required is to, one, tame your tongue, manage your emotions. Wow, I'm still in preschool there. It's hard for me to tame my tongue with Mercury all up in Sagittarius. But yeah, it's to tame these planets that will their energy through us. It's to, because there's two sides to every coin, right? That's the same two sides of, you can talk it, but do you walk it? Because we can only do three things. We can become, we can stay stagnant, or we can actually go retrograde. We can go backwards in our learning, in our thinking, in our believing, in our acting, in our actions, in everything. All of the planets go retrograde. The sun actually has a retrograde against the backdrop of the constellations. The only thing that there is no retrograde is the moon. I needed to get this out. I'm hoping this will help clear up and help you understand a lot of what is going on, what the test Saturn is. And he's in the knee. And the knee always represents Capricorn. You don't get anywhere without your knees. Capricorn. Our thumbs, Mars, and our knees are what separate us. And our ankles, actually, which was Egypt. The feet being Pisces, depending on the statue you have, the iconography, or the legend behind it. You must know the legend to be able to properly decipher the script or the map. And there are many legends. Unfortunately, most of this world wants to take one legend and slap its authority and authorship on every legend. I call that religion. And that's what those books did. That's part of that scribe scribbling the scripture, giving you Bible, Bibble, Babble from Babylon. But I want to give you this truth. This is the only truth I've found. The truth I know about this world, because I remember before I come into this body, I have that. I wish everybody had that. It would make this so much easier to see and to accept and to actually go and flow with. As long as you're inside, as long as the magician is inside the circle, it's protected. Johnny Cash wrote a song about it. I guess on our planet we call it the ring of fire. In an eclipse, the sun makes a ring of fire. The Pacific Rim is the ring of fire. Well, as the sun marches through the heavens, he's making a ring of fire. And they're trying to destroy it. They're trying to hijack Aquarius in this new age, but it was given to us 2,000 years ago by Thalem himself. Love one another. Walk that talk, people. Be the right person. I had one of my subs, literally after my farewell video, one of my subs stepped up and sent me another PayPal donation. And I said another because they'd already sent one. And that's what actually made it possible for me to send Tammy anything. I didn't have anybody else to reach out to. All of this was going down in the middle of the night. And then there were problems with Western Union and all of that. So, but she's going to be okay. We all are. We're all going to be okay. I'm just wish it could be easier, and there could be more peace and camaraderie amongst us. But what I've been witnessing lately is anything but, and that breaks my heart. So I hope through this and you understanding that poor little Venus, we women are debilitated. Love is debilitated right now. I think we witness that. Action is changing and mutable, all up in the benevolence is combust of the sun. And Mercury is speaking up. And Mercury's saying, you need to look at Saturn. Because Saturn's not coming into Sagittarius. He's coming back. He's already been there. We've already touched on this ground. And then he backed up. But now, it's like saying Daddy's home. And he's here to straighten out what you think and what you believe. And he's going to call you to account. I hope I've at least